Hello, everyone. I'm Fidelis Noga II. I'm the CEO and the founder of the newly appointed Alkalign Lifestyle Institute for Quantum Healing. And I am teaching you today about how to stop being lazy and achieve your goals. Now, this sounds like a problem, a business problem, or maybe a fitness problem, or maybe an exercise, or maybe, people put it into different boxes and categories, but I'm here to tell you that this is all predicated upon you becoming coherent and you becoming alkaline. Now, let me explain to you why. There's steps to this process. In order for you to become a person that gets up and does what they say they're going to do, you have to actually figure out first why you're not doing that. So let's assess the problem and then we'll fix the problem. Okay? So, in simplicity, your behavior is controlled by proteins. Proteins are created by BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. But proteins are also, they're spaghetti strings in essence. And what happens is they have to be intertwined like thread or like yarn. But what intertwines them is a positive and a negative, meaning you're left in your right brain. So the proteins plus the signals from your environment create your behavior. But this is the issue. Many people don't understand that signals are also drugs. When you go to a pharmaceutical, when you go to a medical doctor, they give you a drug that they prescribe to change the signals that are going into your body so that you can change your behavior. Because all of it that they think is the solute, which is more important than the solvent, which is the water inside of you, they think that giving you a solute is going to change the way that you behave. And if you're sick, this will make you well, and so on and so forth. That's what conventional science is teaching you in the modern time. But I'm here to tell you that that is a myth and that is false. Essentially, it's like a placebo effect. So the proteins plus the signals create your behavior. If you can change what about this formula will change your behavior? Either the proteins or the signal. Well, you're made up of proteins. You already have proteins because you are made of proteins. So you can change your proteins. You can change what's going in and creating your proteins, or you can also change the signal. And the signal that you would change would say, I would change the drugs that are coming into my body, or I would change my lifestyle, my personality. I would change that. And somehow that would change my behavior. So the first part about this is to assess, what are you made of? What have you been made of? What have you been making yourself throughout your entire lifetime? What's your diet been? Have you been consuming a lot of dairy food, a lot of meat, a lot of sugary snacks, a lot of processed things, right? Or have you been heavily medicated? Have you been on a lot of drugs? Have you taken a lot of drugs, drinking a lot of alcohol, smoked a lot of weed, whatever it is? What have you done to yourself? Assess yourself. Actually go in and write down throughout my entire life from ages this to this, or somehow I've been doing this to my body, this to my system, this to my mind. And this is what's created my behavior. Because at the end of the day, I'm here to tell you guys, there's nobody responsible for what you've created except for yourself. Because everything's created by you. So, early childhood is going to define how you're learning or what you're learning, because this is based on subconscious. So subconscious, I'll put subconscious programming. So let me actually put this right here. So subconscious programming, this is ages 0 to 7 years of age, 0 to 7 years of age, for the most part, 0 to 7 years of age until your brain fully develops as a teenager. And what happens to you is, see, human beings are actually a kind of a rarity, because in this case, a person's brain is developed faster than their body. Most animals, their body gets developed really, really fast because they have to, that's just how it works in terms of people and animals. The animals develop really, really fast in terms of their physical body, but their brain is still learning. But human beings, our brain develops extremely fast, and then our body has to catch up. So at 7 years of age, you're still pretty small, pretty tiny compared to what you're going to be in your adult years. So Your subconscious programming, your early childhood learning, is going to define your habits. So let's look at subconscious programming and just say habits. Okay, so habits. Habits are going to define your life, because what you do often is what you're going to actually create for yourself. So if you're a person that is a worker bee type of person, always doing something, always working and doing something, that's not a bad thing if you're working towards things that you enjoy, things that you actually like, things that you actually love. It's a great thing because you find joy and you find love in your work. If you're working on things that you don't love, things that you feel like you're almost like slave in a way, like you feel like you have to or you're obligated to do these things, you're not going to feel connected to the work that you're actually doing because you're going to be against your actual self. Your inner self is telling you what you should be doing, what your heart wants you to be doing, but your outer world is not going to be reflecting of that. And so you have to look at it from this perspective. You're going to learn through early childhood if you're able to do what you want to do in life, or if you're able to do what someone tells you to do in life, because that's where you get people pleasing from. Now, I was raised in a way where I was told to dream big. I was told to make impact. I was told that I can do whatever I want to do as long as I'm willing to pay the price for it. And because I was taught that way, it told me whatever I desired to have, it's obtainable for me as long as me, decide what it is I'm going to give in return to get that thing. See, there's a scale, all right? And you're supposed to learn when you're a youth that there is a scale of giving. There's a hand of giving, and there's a hand of receiving. And this has to somehow match up. But what I was told by my parents, especially my mother, was that if I give a lot more, this scale has to go up. And then the universe has to return back to me a whole lot more to even out this scale. So all I have to do is continue to give. But as long as I keep on giving quality things, I'm going to, in essence, receive back the things that I'm putting out. Therefore, everything is predicated on a golden rule perspective. You're going to get back out of life what it is that you're putting into life. So, what are you putting in? That's your first question. So your early childhood learning, this is how you understand that whenever you become an adult, and if you're able to say, I'm not able to achieve my dreams and my goals, you're able to understand why. Because maybe you were taught by somebody who did not achieve their dreams and goals. And they taught you that it's not fair and life isn't fair. And you can't get whatever you ask for. And you can't get whatever you want, because they were making excuses as to why they weren't trying to pay the price to go to get the body that they wanted, the life that they wanted, the relationship that they wanted, the money that they wanted, the career, the impact, the social status, whatever it was that they were looking for, they were not willing to pay the price to get that thing. They were the person that said, there's an excuse, and I have many of them. And because I have many of them, I'm going to use them every chance I possibly can so I can justify why I did not achieve the goals that I set out to get in the first place. Yeah, it's sad, but that's just the nature of how life works. So subconscious programming, what does this actually impact? 95% of your day. I'll say it again, 95% of your day. So if I did this right here, when I said, boop, this dot right there. You probably can't even see it on screen, but this dot right here. This is the whole scale of what you can see in your lifetime. The whole scale, right? This big old circle. And consciously, you can see beep, one little dot. The rest of it is subconscious. All this little stuff right here, all of it is all subconscious. So this is how your thought process works. And this is why positive thinking is so hard for many people. Because you're trying to do what 5% of your conscious mind is being instructed to do by you, against 95% of what your subconscious mind is being instructed to do by your body. So your body is actually under control of your mind, but you probably just don't know that. Because your body is influencing you so much, that under the surface, meaning breathing, meaning sneezing, flickering of your eyes, being able to see in the first place, being able to sends signals from your brain to your hand, to your leg. Just natural processes like even your heart beating. These things are subconscious. They're under the conscious mind. They're under the surface. That does not mean that they're smaller. No, on the contrary. That means that it's super. It's everywhere. Okay? So it's connected to everything on the outside, subconsciously. You're connected to everything on the outside. So everything that you see or that you feel, that you can touch, it's all predicated on the subconscious mind. It's all attached to the subconscious mind. So now that you know that, you have to know how to program yourself subconsciously. Because what happened in early childhood was that your brainwave state was lower. From ages 0 to 2, let's think of it as you're in sleep mode, deep sleep mode. So you're in a delta brainwave state. Slowest brainwave state, 0 to 2 hertz. And you keep on going, maybe 2 to 4 years old, you're gonna be in theta, which is gonna be about 2 to 4 hertz. And then after that, you're gonna move up. As 4 to 6 years old, you can move into alpha, which is about 4 to 6 hertz. And then you're gonna keep on going. From then, you're gonna lock into beta, which is your waking state. You can see me on the screen right now, you're in beta. So that's when you get to about 7 years of age to about 12 years. And then you just keep on going with whatever program that you locked into place. So if you've ever been to a lecture and you took your tape recorder with you to hear the lecturer speak, and you pushed record and that was it. You pushed record, they talked for 2 hours, you went back and you repeated it, and you kept playing it back to take your notes after that. That's essentially what your subconscious mind is doing. It's learning by example. Following people the entire time, people in your environment, people that you're around or you're entangled with, it's following them. It's learning from whatever their behaviors are. Because I'm gonna show you guys at the end of this how energy is the underlying effect. What's affecting you in terms of shaping your entire reality is energy that you can't see. So again, what you have to do is you have to reprogram your early childhood learning, because you learned how to be lazy and not achieve your goals and talk yourself out of things and throw out multiple excuses. You learned this in early childhood from people that were around you that did the same thing. So now what do you need to do? You must talk to yourself differently. You must talk to yourself whenever your brain can push record. Your brain can't push record right now in beta because at this moment in time, you are directly focused and locked into something. You have all these things coming around you that are taking away your attention. So what you have to do is close off all the distractions so that you can now maintain a direct connection to the information that you're receiving, and then you can understand it, meaning you can stand under it, meaning you can be able to relay the messages back and forth and then set them on the next day and build connections in your brain that you can now keep those things like in a memory. You don't learn just by going and reading a book one time. You got to keep reading that same book over and over and over again. Unless you lock yourself in a room with no distraction and you got any and everything out of that book or out of that show or journal or research paper or whatever it was. You have to take away everything else that's taking away your attention, because now you're just going to be in parts, staring at something but not actually understanding it. You look at people looking at their phone like zombies. People walking across the street, they might get hit by a car or a bus. They don't care. Whatever the update was or notification, that's more important than their life. Texting and driving. How foolish is that? You don't even think about how foolish it is for you to think that you're driving a 1-ton vessel with your life in it or someone else's life in it, and now it turns into a missile because you're sitting there texting an emoji is more important than you turning left on the right green light or stopping at a stop sign when you're supposed to. It's crazy. You don't think about that. But that's how life is working for many people at this moment in time, because their mind is all over the place. So how to reprogram this is going to say your left and your right brain needs to harmonize. You need to find a way to bridge this connection so that your habits that you learn from ages 0 to 7 can change, and then your proteins can change, and then your signals can change, and then your behavior changes. So this is where we're trying to get to. This is the goal, is to change these proteins, this signal, and equal a behavior that gets you to go towards your goals. You have to harmonize your left and right brain. But your left brain, which is the logical brain, which is the one that is numbers. It's number oriented. It's always thinking about what can go probably, maybe wrong, because it's thinking about it in terms of logistically, in terms of logic. It's looking at everything as if it's trying to solve a problem for you based on what it knows. And it may not know how to solve the problem because it can't see the bigger picture. Because this is going to be like your conscious mind on this side. So your left brain is going to be like, okay, there's 5%. I know I can do this thing. I can go over here. This might be the thing. But your subconscious mind, right? 95%, the right brain, the holistic brain that can see the whole entire picture is telling you, just walk this way. Just go across the street. You asking for $1 million. Hey, I got a guy right here that needs something that you do. He'll pay you $1 million. Just go across the street. You're like, no. Because I have to stay on this side because it's logistically, it works because I'm gonna be late for my appointment because that's what you've told yourself you have to surrender to. The intuition that's telling you to go across the street to go get your gift, the $1 million that you asked God for, that you've been asking for, it's right across the street. And intuitively it's saying, hey, it's nudging you to go across the street. But you're saying, logistically, I don't have time. It just doesn't make, and so there is your disconnection. You're not connected. Your brain isn't harmonized. So now because your brain's not harmonized, you don't go across the street. You don't go get the gift. That's what happens. So unfortunately, many people talk themselves out of the success that they can have just because they are not in harmony. The key word that's stopping you from being prosperous and successful, and it's causing you to be lazy and not achieve your goals and your dreams, is coherence. Harmony, coherence. You don't have it. And because you don't have it, between your left and right brain, this hemisphere, you can't understand why things are happening, why you're in this pattern, why you can't move forward. You don't understand. Solely because you didn't talk yourself into it. You talk yourself out of it. It's all based on repetition. Let me tell you right now, the universe doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you got this type of skin, tan skin, red skin, blue skin, purple, doesn't care. Male, female, doesn't really care. It doesn't have any emotional place. It doesn't have anything except it takes orders. It takes the tickets. And whatever you're over there providing it for the order, when the waitress came to you, which was the universe, at every moment in time, point in space, is coming to you, asking you, what do you want? And you're over here giving it, talking about, I want grief today. I want shame today. I want guilt today. I want just to stay in my bed and hide and nobody can see me. I don't want to be seen. That's what you're telling the universe. It's asking you at every moment in time, point in space. You just don't want to actually take control of your own life. Only because of the fear is so strong. You don't have any courage to be happy. You don't have any courage to be disliked. You can't walk outside and have someone not accept you. But why would you care if someone on the outside doesn't accept you if you don't accept you? Ain't you more important than somebody on the outside? That's the subconscious programming. You got it from somebody around you that looked at the outside that was more important than their inside. And then all of a sudden it affected the left and right hemispheres of their brain. And their brain created chaos based off of indecision. You know what the thing that drains people the most of energy? Indecision. I'll write over here. Indecision. Indecision is what keeps people tired. Indecision. Waiting. Maybe I should be, but if indecision, draining your energy all day long. Should I start my business? Should I wait till tomorrow? Should I start my fitness program? Wait till tomorrow. Should I start jogging today? Should I start eating better today? Should I start thinking better today? Should I start disciplining myself today? Should I start living with intention today? Whatever it is, should I start doing it today or should I just wait till tomorrow? I think tomorrow sounds good. Do you know if you're gonna be here tomorrow? I'm just asking. I mean, but please let me know. Like, can you tell me the specific time I'm gonna not be here? Or can you tell me the specific date and everything? How much time I got left? Because I don't know if you really know how much time you really have left. I think you should probably start to have some urgency the way that you live your life. Just a thought. Just, I think you're only here as this vessel one time. Maybe you might come multiple times. You gotta keep learning some things. Karma's not bad, just learning. But I think you'd want to take every opportunity to live your best life right now. Just a thought. So, indecision that drains your energy. It causes chaos between the left and right brain. Because you're in disharmony, disarray, and chaos, you're causing yourself indecision. So in order to achieve this word right here, we'll start with this word right here, coherence. When you achieve coherence, this becomes easy. Get goals? Oh, you start setting all types of goals. You start planning the calendar. You start saying, I'm gonna go here on Monday, I'm gonna go here on Tuesday, I'm gonna do this on Wednesday, I'm gonna do this on Thursday. You start doing that because of coherence. But until you achieve coherence, that stuff is just waiting. And you just keep on letting the time burn off. Your brain waves are what cause coherence. If you can get everything in sync, clapping in sync, clapping and harmonizing in sync, in the stands of your brain, just like being at a sporting event and you see everybody cheering for one team or for the home team, well, make yourself the home team, make yourself your number one fan, and have your entire brain, every nerve, every connection firing, every neural pathway going towards what you desire to go to. If you can just say one thing, you know what you need right now. You know the one thing that you need right now. You know what you're supposed to do right now. You know what you're supposed to have right now. Just write it down. Just write it down. Because in order for you to take this and run towards it, you have to take this and then take this, or a pen or a pencil, and write it down. You must get the idea from your brain onto a sheet of paper. You must write the vision and make it plain. For he who reads it will run to it. That's how it tells you in every ancient text. It also tells you, even though it may take a long time, have some patience and wait for it, and surely it will come at an appointed time. What does that tell you? It tells you an instruction. But the instruction that it's telling you is based on coherence. Because if you aren't coherent, you don't know what's supposed to come to you. You don't have an idea. You don't know what's supposed to be up next, what point A is and point B is. You didn't set point A to then go to point B. Now, let me tell you guys something that I think is really crazy. Do you know how complicated people's lives are? Because they make them like that. If you know that your life is so complicated, why would you think that attempting to solve your entire life in your head without writing it down is a good idea? It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't solve a complex math problem just in your head. If I told you, what's 100,1246 times 200,038, 12 and 40 cents or something like that. You'd probably sit there and say, maybe I should write this problem down and try doing some math. Or I'll get a calculator. Well, your brain is a calculator. But if you don't know how to access it in that regard, you need to be able to see the issues in front of you. Writing down a problem means it's already 50% solved. It's already half solved. You just wrote the problem down. Now it's right there in front of you, and now you know your brain's going to find you some answers in terms of how to fix it. It's simple, very simple. Whatever it tells you to do, just do it. All right, so coherence based on your brain waves. Like I just told you, in early childhood, 0 to 2, you have delta. 2 to 4, you have theta. 4 to 6, you have alpha. And then 6 to on up, you have beta. If you can get yourself into a coherent state, let me tell you some frequencies that you can use. What they use now, in terms of modern times, every wellness center, institute, anything that has to do with healing is going to be using binaural beats. Why? because in utero, when you are an embryo, when you are just a fetus in the mother's womb, your ears are going to be developed after about 10 weeks. Therefore, what is the first thing that you can use in terms of your senses? Well, your heart's beating, but what's altering it is going to be vibration, because you can hear. Now you can hear. Oh, music. Music can program me. Yeah, music. Yeah, so that's how this works. When you use binaural beats, start the process of your root chakra. This is how we're gonna begin to align you. Your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, you'll have your heart, you'll have your throat, you'll have your third eye, and you'll have your crown. Now, all of these come with frequencies. Each chakra, which is a wheel of energy, spinning, because all atoms that are inside of your body are spinning. All atoms are spinning at every moment in time, point in space. Everything is spinning, and it's all communicated and attached and entangled through vibration. So, your root, there's 3 sections of your root. At your ankles, that's the first wheel. At your knee, that's the second wheel. Genitals, your third wheel. 174 hertz, your ankles. 285 hertz, your knees. 296 hertz, your genitals. And then you go up to your sacral, which is right there at your digestive tract. And at the sacral bone at the base of your spine. This area, 417 hertz. After that, 528 hertz. After that, 639 hertz, which is going to be your heart. So your plexus, 528 hertz, which is your gut. Then you have your heart, 639 hertz. And then you have the third section. So 3 sections. You have your root, which is going to be the bottom area. Keeps you grounded. You're going to have this area here, which is going to be your visceral organs, your soft tissue organs. These areas right here, these are processing all the things going on inside your body. But then here is going to be the control room up top. You have your throat, 741 hertz. You have your third eye, right in the base, center of your forehead, right here, frontal lobe area. You have 852 hertz. And then you have your crown, pituitary body. This is your pituitary body. Houses your pituitary gland, your pineal gland. These, and also your optic nerve, that allows you to see, it allows you to feel, secrete the chemicals. This is where you're going to have your HPA axis, hypothalamic, pituitary, adrenal axis. 963 hertz. All these frequencies are separated by 111 hertz, which is also a frequency that turns off one side of your brain. It doesn't turn it off completely, but it turns off in terms of it mutes it. And then it's allowing you to go into your holistic pathway. The more holistic, the more whole you, the more authentic you, not your logical brain that's telling you everything that you are seeing on the surface level, but you can't see on the surface level, but you can't feel. So when you get these frequencies and you play them at nighttime while you're sleeping or during the day in your headphones, right? Just play them. Just play them while you're doing anything. Play them while you're reading a book. Play them while you're cooking. Play them while you're thinking of ideas for working. Play them while you're doing something constructive, or you're building something, where you're doing anything that needs your attention, right? Play them then. Play them all at that moment in time, and then just continue to play them daily, just harmonizing your entire structure. Why? Because your cells, based off of the concept that they're learning right now, this is new to most people, but it's old to other people. It's called sonocytology. Sonocytology is the study of the vibration of your cells. You see, cells are just like mini radio stations, are like boom boxes. They give off noises. So you can have a white noise cell, like boo, that's a healthy cell. But then you have a cell that's sick, or that's cancerous, or something that is not pure, not in harmony, not coherent. You have this, that's the sound that the cell is going to make. So cancer cells make that sound. Harmonious cells make the white noise sound. And so this is where you understand that music can alter the expression of your genes and change the proteins. Because genes, this expression that you get from your proteins, based off the signals that you get from your environment, or the drugs you're taking in, food that you're taking in, water you're taking in, whatever it is, they all have a vibration. So here's that coherence. Once you can understand that these binaural beats that you can play inside the headphones, go get some headphones. I suggest you don't get Bluetooth. I suggest that you just go order a adapter. If you have a phone, you can use your phone, put it on airplane mode, download some frequencies from YouTube, and you can use 528 hertz player or 32 hertz player. It's a free download on the Apple iStore, or even I believe it's also available for Android phones as well. And you go in there, you get it, you play all 9 frequencies, or you can play all 9 frequencies at one time. Because they also studied a long time ago, this is based off of John Stuart Reid's work in cymatics. Cymatics is basically the study of sound, how sound patterns form based off of sound. This is how the structures form inside of your own body. Sacred geometry structures that form inside your own body. And what happened was they found that 5 frequencies at a time, plus if you put these frequencies onto your skin and you play them onto your skin through your cell membranes, your skin's also a receptor. Your skin's connected to your brain. It touches your brain. So all of a sudden, playing these frequencies and allowing them to affect and to connect through your skin changes your expression, your molecular structure. And it's awesome if you do it right. But what's more powerful is to record your affirmations and play them. This is next, what I'm talking about in terms of environment programs your genes. If you can understand that your environment, so everywhere that you go, people that you hang around, right? The job that you work, the people that you go out to eat with, your relationships, your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend, or your friends in general, right? And if your friends are all a certain way, if your friends do a certain thing, or they hold on to a certain thing, or they have a certain way of being, you're going to be the next person up in the line. So you got 5 criminal friends, you're going to be a 6th criminal. You got 5 billionaire friends, you're going to be a 6th billionaire. It's a guarantee. Because if you can keep yourself entangled with these people, their thoughts, their behaviors, their ideas, their values, what they think about will rub off onto you. It's just based off of entanglement, quantum entanglement. So you think about this and you're like, what is my environment? This is the next thing you need to write down. What is your current environment? Where are you living? Where are you working? What car are you driving? What house are you living in? What neighborhood are you living in? What city are you living in? Do you want to go somewhere else? Do you want to be somewhere else? Do you want to drive something else? Do you want to earn more? What do you want to do? You have to actually write down, where are you right now? Because you should never actually be satisfied with anything. I don't believe that. I don't believe that that's actually possible, because I'm always looking at nature and I'm saying, nature desires for me to grow. Because if nothing touches it, it just keeps growing. It just keeps getting better. It just keeps on evolving. So if nature is going to continue to evolve, I need to continue to evolve. Because once I stop living for today, I stop living, period. So let's think about this in terms of my environment that programs my genes. How would I change my inner environment? Because your inner environment is reflective of your outer environment, meaning your outer environment is reflective of your inner environment. Because as above, so below, as within, so without, it's the same thing. It's going to be like this, intertwined like this. If you can look at it from, I can change who I am from the inside, and therefore it will change what comes to me from the outside. I need to know what that is that I'm expressing from the inside out, because I can't see a new self-image if I don't close my eyes. You have to have the dark with the light. You have to have the yin with the yang. There is no and, there is no maybe, there is no trying. That's not how this works. You have to look at it from a perspective that says this and this. Left, right, yes, no. Do you want it? Yes or no. Are you going to do it? Yes or no. Are you here? Yes or no. That's how you should speak. There shouldn't be any wasted voice or vocabulary or words, nothing. Pause. If you don't know what you want to say, pause. Just wait until you get it right in your head. Once you get a line in your head, then all of a sudden, whenever you speak, it'll come out in a flow. And it'll be easy. and it'll be honest. It'll be actually transparent. It'll actually be yourself. Your environment programs your genes. Therefore, how do we affect these genes? How do we affect these programs that we are expressing based upon our proteins and our signals that are affecting our behavior? Meditate. It's proven that 8 hours of meditation will reprogram all of your genes. Just 8 hours. Can you sit still for 8 hours? If you can, you can change your life. If you can sit still for 8 hours with your eyes closed, with a sleep mask on, sitting still, just sitting up and listening to whatever it is coming out to you, can you do that? Can you do that? Can you sit there with yourself for 8 hours? Because if you can, and get past the busy mind and fall into a coherent state, because you will fall into a coherent state, if you can fight yourself from getting up, from going to do anything, from having to go get something, having to go do something, if you can fight that, if you can fight against that, the old self, and bring yourself towards your new self, you will then be able to say, I went from point A and now I'm going towards point B. 8 hours changes your entire environment on the inside. Just 8 hours. Now, it's not easy to meditate if you don't actually know why you're doing it, because most people think that sitting still is a waste of time. Most people think that resting is shameful. People think that actually taking time to themselves is disrespectful. When in all actuality, it's not. You have to actually build a plan before you go out to execute. If you don't have a plan, you're just wasting your movement. You're just wasting your energy. So what I suggest to everyone is, in order to fulfill something that's big, that's massive, right? You want to build a plan and a system first. It may take you a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it takes you. Just be willing to pay the price to do it. Because then, whenever you go to execute it, it'll be flawless. You don't have to keep changing it. That's the thing. Don't change the direction of where you're trying to go. You're running a marathon. You're not running a sprint and then it's over. You're running a marathon, okay? So if you can run this marathon at your pace and steadily increase your pace over time as you continue to get smarter, you continue to get more patient, you continue to get more coherent, you continue to get more kind and more loving, more positive. Just keep running the same exact marathon, but keep running it in a way that's going towards the goal, knowing that if you just keep running, that goal is already there. That's why you're running. That's what faith is. It's perseverance. That's what really coherence is. You see what I'm saying? So if you can look at it from that perspective, you're going to tell yourself, all I have to do is just continue to make the movement towards who I truly desire to be. You're going to get there. Meditation. This helps you to reprogram your inner environment and change the genes. Also, what helps you reprogram your inner environment is your lifestyle. Up next, lifestyle choices shape your behavior. So, this you can look at and say, proteins and signals. Well, you can look at food and water as signals, because that's drugs. You go anywhere to any fast food restaurant, most of them are laced with MSG. Most of them have monosodium glutamate, as well as a bunch of other processed things, chemicals, that you have no idea is even inside your food. Most chicken sandwiches are made with about 50 plus ingredients. Most French fries, most things that are fried, processed food. Seed oils have been shown to be not very healthy for you. So you go to anywhere, or you buy any product that has sunflower oil or canola oil, vegetable oil of any kind, these things are going to attack your gut and destroy the gut lining inside your stomach, which then is going to cause inflammation, which is going to cause irritable bowel syndrome, things that are going to be upset stomach. You're going to have one. That's all I'm going to say. So those are drugs. It's not food. It's just drugs. Those are signals that are put inside the food. So they're putting signals inside your food. You have a signal that's altering how you are expressing based on what you're eating. So you're eating food that can affect your mood, because your food affects your mood. So not only that, what you're drinking carries the information as quickly as possible. Your body being over 70% water, and this planet being over 70% water, this is the same. You're not a marine. You're not a marine animal. And a marine animal, where I'm saying like a beast whale. Like a whale can't take in the oxygen from the atmosphere. It takes in the oxygen that it needs and from the water. Now, if we go into the ocean, we need to get out the ocean, and we need to have the air out here. We're the inverse. We can't just sit there like some submarines and be underwater the entire time. It's complete opposite. There's inverses. What we breathe out, carbon dioxide. The plants breathe in. What they breathe out, oxygen. We breathe in. It's a circle of life. We're participatory in this circle. We don't own the circle. Let me tell you again, you're participating in this whole thing. So you're not above nature. You must be foolish to think that you're above nature. You're a part of it. You have to learn how to live in harmony with it. And so this is saying your lifestyle choices are shaping how you are behaving. Now, I'm plant-based over 8 years, just about 8 years. And I love it, because what happened to me was it changed my awareness. It changed my consciousness. It changed the way I express myself out into the world. It changed the way that I looked at life, and that I can feel life. I can take in life, because all of a sudden I was electrified. Let me tell you some stats that you probably don't actually know. And this is coming from a book that I love. This is a gentleman, his name is George W. Carey. He's wrote, I think this book was called The Wonders of Human Body. He also wrote a book called God, Man, Word Made Flesh, which is gonna define why I truly do not believe in any religions, because the word Catholicism basically means universal anyway. What I believe is it's a system of habits based off of how you're supposed to be living. So these words, these sciences that I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna talk to you about right now. You're at maturity, the human skeleton has about 165 bones. He says they're so delicately and perfectly adjusted that science has despaired of ever imitating it. The muscles are about 500 in number. Length of alimentary canal, which is another name for your digestive system, is about 32 feet. Your amount of blood in the average adult, 30 pounds, or 1/5 of the weight of the body. Your heart is 6 inches in length and 4 inches in diameter, and it beats 70 times per minute, 4,200 times per hour, 100,800 times per day, 36,720,000 times per year. At each beat, 2.5 ounces of blood are thrown out of it, 175 ounces per minute, 656 pounds per hour, or about 8 tons per day. All the blood in the body passes through the heart every 3 minutes, and during 70 years, it lifts 270 million tons of blood. Now, think about how crazy what I just said. And think about how many people have high blood pressure, or low blood pressure, or diabetes, or they have to process their own insulin by stabbing themselves in the gut, or they have so many issues based off of kidney and adrenal damage because of the way that they're perceiving life. It's based on your perspective. Let me express to you why. Because you may not understand that your job is to self-regulate. Your job is to give yourself an environment based on your lifestyle choices that allow you to continue to reproduce over and over and over again. The only way that you can stress yourself out so much to go over the top is based off of what you're directly putting into your body and what you're thinking, because the chemical pharmacy that you have inside your brain is way infinitely more powerful than the one that you get from Walgreens or CVS. I'm just telling you, in case you didn't know that. You are the one that's creating the chaos that's causing your disease. You can check out my past video that it explains what is the cause of actual disease. You'll learn something that's drastically under-announced in this world, and that is that your thoughts and your biology is affected by what you believe. So, lifestyle choices shape your behaviors, your food. Let me tell you this. Whenever you eat fast food, you'll have a reaction to it. You have cravings whenever you drink certain things, alcohol per se. You shrink. Your energy field around you shrinks. What happens when people think about it or not, all alcohol is alcohol. I don't care what research study came out that says go drink a glass of wine a day, or I don't care. It's trash. Because of the simple fact that when you bring something in that's damaging to your solar plexus, because you were born from the solar plexus. You didn't come out your mother's throat. You didn't come out your mother's ankle. You didn't come out her kneecap. You came out of her gut, her solar plexus. So your 12 cranial nerves that are connected in the solar plexus right here. Whatever you put in, alter the effects of every other organ that is outreach through the entire body. You have the vagus nerve that connects to your brain. You have your GI tract. You have the liver, the kidneys. You have every function of the lymphatic system and lymphatic system. It's all interconnected. So I think people have this disconnection and they think about their body like it's disconnected, but it's not. It's community. So whatever you put in affects the community. It's harmony. Each cell is not doing something that the other cell is not communicating that it knows what it's doing. Everyone knows what everybody's doing because it has to know what everybody else is doing or it can't function. Nothing is hidden from anyone inside your body. So why you do it out there in your real life? You're always being watched. So think about this in terms of lifestyle choices. Your food, your water, but more importantly, your relationships. Let me tell you why this is going to be the biggest thing. Your relationships go into this last state, this last section that I'm saying. Let everyone else be themselves. Why? Because your relationships are based off of entanglement. There's 4 words, but it's 2 things, 2 concepts. Constructive interference and destructive interference. If you look at all atoms as waves, okay? When I say waves, I mean, think about this dot right here. This is a dot, like this atom. This atom is going to be giving off waves. These waves are going to be radiating outwardly. They're radiating outwardly. Each one of them outwardly. And so what happens is, you can look at this as a person. This is one person. Well, what about this person right here, who's also giving off some waves? What's happening? These waves are being entangled with each other. So these 2 people standing right inside of a grocery store, right? One person's in line and they're giving off a certain level of vibration. Maybe it's anger. They're smiling in the line. So you can see them physically smiling, hi, all that stuff. They got the little dog with them, whatever. Then they walk around, everything is cool. But you can feel something that's eerie about this person. Well, what's going on? Oh, it's the energy waves. Remember I told you about energy earlier? Then I said something that sound that you can't see, that's affecting everything about why you can't achieve your goals and why you're being lazy. You're around lazy people. And you're around lazy people whenever you were growing up. So all you go out to seek in the world is people who are in resonance with you. You don't want to change that. And so all of a sudden when you're in the grocery store, that person may be a 60-year-old man. You're a 25-year-old male. 60-year-old man. He has to be in resonance with you or you wouldn't be around him in the first place. You have to look at yourself differently. You gotta say, man, entanglement, can it affect me? Oh, 100%. If somebody's around you constantly negative, constantly berating everything around, constantly being pessimistic, constantly being a person that expresses excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they can't do something, it's going to cause you to say, you know what, maybe you're right, maybe tomorrow. That's what happens. And all of a sudden you find more and more people in harmony with that concept. And you leave the people that are telling you, push, go. You only here one time. Go, let's go. You're thinking those people are evil. Something's wrong with them. Nothing's wrong with you because you want to be relaxed and you want to chase comfort the entire time. You're seeking comfort. You're not seeking anything in terms of growth because you attached being uncomfortable to nothing positive. You're attached being uncomfortable to everything painful and everything negative. And people, by association, they seek things that bring them pleasure and they avoid things that bring them pain. But what you didn't do was attach stagnation to pain. You should have attached stagnation to pain. You should have attached being stable. You should have attached being secure to painful. Why? Because that means that you're not advancing in life. You're not growing. You stopped taking risks. You stopped showing up for yourself. You decided to just be like a hen sitting on her eggs, and instead of going out into the world to see what the world has to offer and to see the evolution that's taking place, you decided to say, you know what, I'm good. I don't have enough energy, so I'm just gonna stay where I'm at. But you don't have enough energy based upon your lifestyle. You change your lifestyle, you have more energy. Wouldn't you want to go on an adventure? Your mind is telling you to do it. Your body is telling you to do it. The natural order of things is telling you to grow. There you go. Everyone else, it's their responsibility. Here's how I look at this. It's called, from this book, it's actually from this book called The Courage to Be Disliked, and also the book called The Courage to Be Happy. It's based upon a philosopher. He's talking about Alfred Adler, Adlerian psychology, and how Adler is telling the philosopher is expressing this philosophy to this youth that comes into his study to talk with him about why he is so miserable and upset in his life and why he can't basically go to achieve his goals. And the gentleman is telling him that you have no freedom because you are too afraid to be disliked. And essentially, what this means is you're too afraid to choose yourself and have someone be mad at you for choosing yourself. Most of you know what you want. Actually, I believe everyone knows what they want. And you also know how to get it. You know the first step to doing it. Maybe you need to go to be a content creator and you don't want to push record. Maybe you need to get into the gym and go get your physical fitness right. Maybe you need to change the food that you eat and actually eat the things that are actually food instead of going to stuff your face with a bunch of things that don't serve you. Maybe you should just find some discipline and say, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and I'm getting it done now. And you're not waiting around to get it done. Maybe you become a person that says, I'm around too many losers in life. And that's why I'm a loser too. Because I tried to bring losers with me. And I was too afraid to go around winners because I didn't have what the winners had. Not knowing that all the winners that you see were once losers in their lifetime too. They're fine. They want you to win, but they want you to win based off of your intent to win, not off of somebody giving you a W. That's not how it works. You don't learn anything that way. So most people are upset that they have to do some work on themselves. Most people get mad that they're not being accepted by groups or by crowds that they chose themselves to fit in. Most people are just angry and upset and they have to find someone else to blame because they don't want to point the finger in the mirror and look at themselves. And ultimately, that's the only person that you can blame because you are the creator of your own reality. This is based on universal law, cause and effect. The law of cause and effect, polarity. You can look at it and say, all these laws that you see nature live by, if you don't abide by them in your own regard, in your own way, why would you achieve anything? You see? So based off of entanglement, if a person that you go around and that you're standing around or that you're being around, that you're talking to, leaves you with less energy than when you met them, that person is an energy vampire. That person is just giving you destructive interference. Therefore, your cells were screaming that white noise. But when you went by them, all of a sudden it went and now you couldn't hear anything. See? You chose to stay in there. Now that you know that this is destructive interference, what are you going to do? You're going to move yourself towards constructive interference. This is all based off of energy waves. I'm an energy wave. So when I go in, I radiate. I radiate positivity. I radiate assurance. I radiate inner security. And I pass it on to anyone that sees me out here on the YouTube or the TikTok or whatever, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. However you can catch me, I'm radiating the truth to you. Because the truth is you turn back inside and you look at yourself. Because everything is predicated off of energy. Constructive interference, good vibes, comes from you have one person with energy waves, another person, energy waves, and when you go in with your energy waves, these waves meet and it becomes a +1 and a -1. Meaning, this wave gets huge. And this is a wave. Here, this is life. If you were like this, that's a flat line. That's death. So now if you go in and you have energy wave coming in, and then somebody has an energy wave coming in that's just not in harmony, all of a sudden this wave that was going like this, that got bigger, goes to 0. That's destructive interference. That's death. If someone's draining your energy, they're killing you. So you need to go around people who lift you up, who say what you can do. The only curse words in this lifetime that I've actually experienced are tired, angry, sick, broke, and mainly can't. That's the only line in the universe. That you can't do something. You can do anything you want to do. So based off of entanglement in your relationships, this is part of your lifestyle. Are you a person that lives against the natural order of things? Against the circadian code, staying out till 12 midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, drinking, smoking, having meaningless sex with people whom you don't even know, who aren't even going to be considered a parent in your lifetime, meaning you're not considering to be a parent with them. So why are you having sex with them? There's a lot of things that people just don't actually comprehend. If you're not going to make a family with them, why are you doing that? There has to be thought processes going into your head that say, stop living with no intention behind what you're doing. That's why you're lazy. You're not achieving your goals. There's no intent to do that. You aren't living with the goal to achieve those goals, to be meaningful, to live purposely. If you're living with purpose, it's a different way of living. If you're living a life with intention behind it, and you're living a life that you know you're going to have things happen, and you know things are going to come up, and things are going to go down, and things are going to go left, and things are going to go right, and you're living in a neutral place, you accept everything that comes to you. And you're just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be alive, happy to make the effort, happy to be my best. That's it. So think about this. Your proteins will change. Your signals will change because you're putting in different things. Therefore, your behavior will change. All because of these things. Subconscious programming. You change your habits based off your subconscious programming. What I suggest for you to do this is, first off, go grab a recorder. You can use your iPhone, you can use your Android. Write down 300 things. I got this from Steve Harvey a couple of years ago. He said, write down 300 things that you can use, that you receive from God. And I did it. And I'm just marking things off on my list all the time. But you write it down in positive present tense. I'm so happy and grateful that I received, boom. That's it. I'm so happy and grateful that I received, bam. This Bob Proctor's favorite phrase, I'm so happy and grateful. Write it down, bam. Put down that after the blank, this house, this car. Be detailed. Know that you're going to get it. Know who you're talking to. This is Dr. Joseph Murphy talks about the power of the subconscious mind. Because you realize that the subconscious mind is connected to everything at every moment in time, point in space. If you just say that you already have this thing, you get the feeling off. Because feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. And it comes from the crown. So program yourself subconsciously. This is how you do it. Overnight, you're going to play back that recording that you have while you sleep. Preferably, you get yourself some 3.5mm headphones, plug it into your iPhones, go get an adapter off of Amazon, and you can use your iPhone on airplane mode. Don't turn on any Bluetooth, any Wi-Fi. Just have it playing back and forth. Also, after that, you cancel out your indecision. You unite your left and right brain by essentially achieving coherence through binaural beats. What I suggest is that you can play these binaural beats during the day while you're doing things, doing work, content, ground yourself. One of the most important things that you can do to find harmony is to ground yourself. This is a simple thing right here. I actually send these out with my kids. This is a grounding cord right here that you plug into the wall, and this is a wrist strap that can go into your hand and go into your foot. I have mine on right now while I'm recording this. You guys will see. Let me show you guys right now. So this is mine right here. On my ankle, as you can see. So that's my grounding cord. So while I'm doing my work, I ground. If I'm exercising, if I'm doing yoga class, I'm on my own mat at home, I ground. So be grounded overnight. That's one thing that you need to do. Also, order a small speaker. It's called a micro speaker from Amazon.com. You can just get one. It's like $5, $6, $7, I think. And it's about the size of a quarter. You can tape it to your ankle, tape it to your grounding cord if you want to, and then that's how you can play your binaural beats through your actual body, attention to your actual body. Put it on your frontal lobe, whatever you want to do. And then play your affirmations that program you overnight. So this is how you're gonna get control of your brain again. All right, you're gonna go with these things. You're gonna just focus on repetition. And then meditate. You must meditate. Let me tell you why. If you don't stop yourself or pause yourself at times to allow yourself to catch up to yourself, you allow yourself to stop all the incoming, consuming everything on the outside, and you now allow your pharmacy to actually construct things that you actually need from the inside out. This is the joy that comes from meditating. You become familiar with yourself. You learn why you haven't achieved these things. You learn why you're reactionary in life. You learn why your attitude is bad. You learn these things based off meditation, because that's what it means to become familiar with meditation. 8 hours of meditation, 8 straight hours of meditation will reprogram all of your genes. Your genes do not dictate your future. If your mom or your dad had cancer or your great grandmother had cancer, this does not mean you're going to get cancer either. This does not mean anything. You're not a victim of your genes. It's based on epigenetic control above the genes. Your mind, your thought process, your perspective, your perceptions, that controls it. Lifestyle choices shape your behavior. Listen, the food you eat affects how you behave. Because that's proteins that come in, and also it signals, affects your behavior. Your food can alter your mood in an instant. Your drink is also food that can alter your mood. So be wise whenever you make choices. I advise you to eat a plant-based biologic food diet. I believe that it is full if you know how to do it right. And all that means is open yourself up to know that plants have more information, because the meat that people were eating, or that people do eat, they're usually meat that comes from animals that eat plants. They're just smarter than you. You just didn't know that what they knew. So now you're consuming what they consume. They're just a middleman, and they shouldn't be the middleman. You should not consume anybody else's blood. You should be able to make your own. You should not consume anybody else's blood, because it's going to alter your own inner environment in a bad way. So ultimately, look at it from plant-based food, alkaline diet, and alkaline water. But alkaline water is not the one that you get on the shelf. It's water that's ionized water that you can go in, and you can go to places like freshpure.com. You can go to get 5-gallon jugs, go to places with natural springs, go to get that water. That's moving water. That's already alkalized based on mineral content. But don't sit and get water that's been sitting on the shelf for days and weeks that you don't even know how long it's been there. That's not the water that you want to drink. That water will dehydrate you. So there's H2O2 chains that can come from food grade hydrogen peroxide, 35%. You can take some drops, you can put it inside of your water. That's H2O2 chains. But H3O2 chains are water fruits. Water fruits are also, they're readily absorbed by your body, and they hydrate your body quicker. So that's why fruits are so powerful. So more fruit, more water fruit. That's the highest level of ancients of energy. This is study of wavelength again. I was talking about wavelength. You want the things that have the highest amount of energy waves. And so raw fruit, raw vegetables. But mainly, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be for 2025, I know. And going forward, you're going to learn about entanglement and relationships and why you need to pick people who have a positive outlook on life and why you should become a person who has a positive outlook on life. Because you can't attract people who are positive being negative. It doesn't make sense because like attracts like. So if you're a bad person, meaning you think bad about the world, you think the world's out to get you, you think everything is not trustworthy or everything is bad and everything is wrong, you attract people who are just like you in harmony with you. If that's what you want, by all means, do whatever you want. If that's not what you want, stop now. I'm not telling you to stop tomorrow. You haven't got tomorrow. You don't know if tomorrow's gonna come to you. You have only right now. You can't bring back 5 minutes ago. You can't bring back 5 days ago. You can't even bring back 5 seconds ago. You can't bring it back. So you're living at every moment in time, point, in space for right now. So if that's the case, make sure that you're living your best life, for your best life, to achieve your best life. People around you that will come to you will also be in harmony and resonance with living their best life. So that all of you will now be living your best life. That's how it works. But you have to look at this based off of, if you see your entanglement that's in a negative way, it's in a bad capacity, you've got to tell yourself that I am in control of the people that I'm attracting to me, and I need to bring people who will help me to achieve my goals, not stop me from getting to them. So ultimately, if you are a person that is lazy, I just gave you the keys as to how you're never going to be lazy ever again in your lifetime. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you had as much fun learning as I had teaching you guys. And if you want further support, click the link in my description below and sign up for our one-on-one coaching programs. You can check out our detoxes, cellular detoxes, and also our retreats that we are going to be putting on at every quarter of this year in various places around the country and around the world. Make sure also to click the like button and share and subscribe if you found something useful from this video. Subscribe to our channel as we put out content every week. And thanks again for your love, for your support. And until next time, see you in the next video.